Back with you today, as we do every Monday. We bring in the folks from Albuquerque Business First to get back to business on Mondays, and Rachel Sams is here. Rachel is Editor-in-Chief of Albuquerque Business First. Always good to have you on the program.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
You always bring the news. It's great.
They bring the business news, something that we can do something about.
Yeah, we try.
It's
we
terrific.
Try. Definitely.
We'll talk about a couple things. First, we're going to talk about the 2014 Nonprofit of the Year Awards.
Yes, this is a really neat endeavor that we launched last year, spotlighting nonprofits that are doing really outstanding work in New Mexico and really essential work in our communities. And we launched this because we just see so many ties between the business community and the nonprofit community. They're very intertwined in a lot of ways. We are reaching out to business owners and executives, decision makers in their organizations, and those are exactly the kinds of people that nonprofits love to connect with as potential board members, donors, volunteers. So we started this as a way to hopefully bring those folks together. And of course, nonprofits are major economic forces themselves, employing a lot of people, doing really important work. Mm-hmm. And we really need them at a time when our economy's been hurting. Yeah. We need the services that they provide. So we put a call out to the public for nominations of their favorite organizations, and the organizations that were nominated had to submit a detailed application telling us all sorts of stuff about their work, their mission. And one thing that we asked for the first time this year, which was really interesting, was for the nonprofits to share some financial information with our accounting partner, Hinkle and Landers PC. Oh. And it was really things like ratios that show how much of the money that they have to work with is going to administrative costs versus causes that they support. So that was very interesting for our judges to see and really illuminating for a lot of them. The awards were judged by a panel of experts in the community, folks who have a lot of nonprofit experience, served on boards, know those organizations well. And they evaluated the nonprofits on their mission, their innovations, what they're doing to stay ahead of the curve and provide services better, their impact, and their sustainability, which just means that financial ability to keep going, providing services. And they got to 15 great organizations. And then we made it really difficult for them. We asked them to choose a winner in each category. And that was just the organization in that category that they felt like displayed the highest level of achievement. And to spotlight these organizations, last week we had about 300 people at the Crown Plaza.
Nice.
And we had video testimonials from those who had been helped by the nonprofits, which was really moving and also gave a great glimpse into how these organizations are directly impacting the people that they serve. And we had people come up to us, a businesswoman came up to me after the event and said that one of the winners, she had never heard of them before. She was really moved by their story and their work. So those are the kinds of connections we're hoping to foster. Who knows, maybe in the future she'll go on and work with them, serve with them in some way. And we just encourage people to be thinking about the nonprofits that they think are outstanding in the community. We'll start taking applications, nominations for the next awards early next year. Okay. So generally most people, they have favorite organizations that they love the work that they do. So when we open up our nominations at the beginning of the year, nominating is easy. All you have to do is provide us the organization's name and some contact info, and we'll take it from there. We'll let the organization know they've been nominated, and they get to work.
Wow.
Rachel, I bet our viewers wouldn't mind hearing some of the nonprofits that really got outstanding mention.
Absolutely. It was a very diverse group from organizations that a lot of people in the community know, like Ronald McDonald's House Charities of New Mexico, to actually the organization that the woman came up to me afterwards and said, I'd never heard of them, their work is amazing, is a group. They were the winner in our health services category. It's called Albuquerque SANE Collaborative. Have you guys heard of them?
No.
SANE stands for Sexual Assault Nurse Examiners. So you know that they are serving people who have been assaulted, who have faced domestic violence. Their services are immediate, they're confidential, they're providing help and services to these people. And because of the nature of the work they do, they're relatively under the radar. A lot of people don't know them well. So this woman who spoke with me about them after the awards was just really amazed by the impact of the work that they're doing, and really eager to see how she could help them. So
Nice.
a lot of really meaningful work just across a lot of different sectors. We had organizations that work with those with disabilities, a lot of organizations that address hunger, Roadrunner Food Bank, the Food Depot in Santa Fe. Of course, we have a big problem with hunger in New Mexico, so it was very encouraging to see that there are so many organizations doing great work to help to address that need.
Fabulous. It's very interesting because I'm sitting here thinking nonprofits have to run like businesses.
Absolutely.
But by their nature of the title, nonprofit, their incentive is a little different.
Definitely. Definitely.
But there's a very fine line between a real business and a nonprofit. It's hard to distinguish.
Well, I think one thing that we have seen is that many of our nonprofits are doing the same sorts of innovations and collaborations that businesses are. For sure, during the recession, a lot of nonprofits started collaborating and working together. They were finding that maybe they were running short on donations, running short on the help that they needed. So they looked for people to partner with and help each other provide those services so that people didn't have to go without them.
It's really wonderful that Albuquerque Business First has actually highlighted this sector of the community and brought their work to the forefront. So it'll be great to see who's nominated next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely gets you starting to think.
Good deal. Yeah, be sure and nominate. Be thinking about who you guys would nominate.
Yes.
Send them our way.
Now, Rachel, you wrote a piece just recently about the Tesla deal, which New Mexico didn't get, and the theme of the piece was losing Tesla may be the best thing to ever happen to New Mexico and to our community.
Right.
Very interesting take on that. Can you talk a little bit about your theory on that? And
Sure, absolutely. I was kind of thinking all along as we covered this story, as it unfolded, as we watched the competition among the states for this huge factory, which they said would have employed 6,500 people. I was thinking that it could be even a little bit dangerous if New Mexico were to receive that project. It could be very tempting to think that we had solved all our problems with the economy. And the research that has been done has shown that we've taken such a hit over the past few years with the number of jobs. I believe the number that we need to create economic-based jobs, that's jobs whose the goods and services that they produce are exported outside of the state. I believe the number that I've heard is that we need 160,000 economic-based jobs in the next 10 years. So 6,500 jobs would have meant a great deal to those, those workers and those families. It would have been huge for New Mexico, but it wouldn't have solved everything. So that column was kind of inviting people to begin thinking of ways to create an economy here in New Mexico ourselves that has the strength, has the diversity of jobs, the diversity of worker skills that could just be irresistible to a company, both our own homegrown companies looking to expand and do more here, and to a company like Tesla or any sort of major employer looking at the state. That's kind of what I had in mind. It's been interesting to see
it's a great angle on it.
the reaction.
Both good and bad?
Mostly, well, it's always on all sides.
Sure.
Certainly people are definitely thinking right now, how can we build a great economy of our own? Because that game of going after big employers with big incentives, it's extremely competitive. It's changing. We actually saw recently there was a big plant, a Toyota plant, that states were competing for, and it actually chose the state that did not give the biggest incentives because it chose Texas, and a lot of that was because of location, because of connectivity to other markets that it serves. It was easier to get direct flights and things like that. They were competing with North Carolina, which offered more incentives, but was not as connected in the ways that they said they were looking for. So the incentive game is really changing. It's very competitive. And we're hearing a lot of business people talk about how can we sort of create some of that economic activity on our own to try and build something that would draw major employers here.
Fascinating.
Well, I think all these startups that are going on and all the success behind the startups and these individual micro businesses and businesses that are coming together, the nonprofit sector, you know, it's good for everybody to work together, collaborate, and know that we all kind of want the same thing.
Definitely.
And try to work together. Really, that's the key.
Absolutely.
And not pointing fingers and blaming each other.
Right, right. There are a lot of interesting ideas out there right now. It'll be neat to see how it all develops.
Yeah, I think 2015 is going to be an interesting year around here.
For sure.
Hey, Rachel, good to see you as always. Thank you. Please come back soon.
Sure will.
Okay.
Great to see you guys.
Thank you.
Great
Rachel
week.
Sams, Editor-in-Chief of Albuquerque Business First. We're underway with the Morning Brew for Monday. We'll be back after this.